Thursday, March 1st, 2018. Welcome to Sportsbook. Betting Insight today from SBRpicks.com. And note that date. Yes, it is March 1st. It is March. There is March Madness going on in conference tournaments this weekend. There'll be March Madness going on in conference tournaments all next week. And then, of course, the big dance the week after. So if you like sports and you like betting on sports, this is one of the best times of the year. March is here. Welcome to Sportsbook. We'll be here every single weekday throughout the month. And like we like to do on just about every show, we're going to start with bad beats, bad bets, and bad from the books. Bad for the books from last night. So let's get right into it. Well, look at the tweet from ESPN Stats and Info. Yeah. We have the San Antonio Spurs in bad beat category. The Spurs, led by as many as 15 against the Pelicans. Over the last 10 seasons, San Antonio was 211-0 when leading at home by 15 or more in the second half. Every other team in the league had multiple losses during that span. Lo and behold, San Antonio now 211-1 when leading at home by 15 or more in the second half. New Orleans rallies from behind to steal the win in San Antonio. Of course, it didn't help matters for the Spurs that LaMarcus Aldridge sprained his ankle. He had to leave the court early. It mattered a lot late. There was a key sequence in the final 30 seconds when the Pelicans missed 2 free throws. They were up 1. But what happened after they missed the 2 free throws? Anthony Davis muscles to get the offensive board, a board that Aldridge normally would have snagged. Tough beat if you had San Antonio, particularly tough if you had them on the money line against New Orleans last night. Another bad beat. What is this one? Yeah, we've got a couple. Overtime. Overtime just screws you, man. Doesn't matter what you have. Seems like overtime is a problem. LSU plus 4.5 against South Carolina. Well, they sent it to overtime on a 3-pointer by Tremont Waters at the end of regulation. If you had LSU, you're like, miss. Instead, he drains it, and they lose by 9 in overtime. Plus 4.5, you can tear that ticket up. The Gamecocks get the money. LSU's a bad beat. What about the Thunder Mavs under? Oh, that's got a ton of money. 214, bet down to 210 before tip-off. Well, it was at 200 at the end of regulation. Of course, overtime kills regulation bets. 21 points in the extra session. Thunder's Mavs go over the total. Bad beat. You had the under in that one. Bad bets? Well, look, Kentucky, man. All of a sudden, 4 straight wins and covers. Maybe not a dead season yet for the Wildcats. Don't underestimate their talent level. Ole Miss took a ton of money last night. I was baffled by the Rebels' money. Plus 11 down to plus 8.5. Well, Kentucky won by 18. They pulled away late, but they were certainly in control of that game for the vast majority of the contest. The Wildcats, a team with tremendous upside when it comes to the postseason. More bad bets. Well, what do we have? We had UNLV. UNLV took money last night. If you watched Sportsbit, you knew the Wolfpack were coming to play. And the Wolfpack came to play. The Rebels were down 54-28 by halftime. They put up no fight. UNLV from plus 3 to 1.5. Down to plus 1.5. That, a bad bet. The Grizzlies took money. Memphis can't be favored. Memphis, -1 up to -3 against the Suns. They lose by 8. Bad for the books last night. A couple of totals weren't good for the house. I'll tell you that much. The Raptors and the Magic, middle alert. Total bet from 219 up to 222. Lands 221. That's a bad landing spot for books. The early over money cashes. Anyone who had buyback on the under cashes. Middle on the total there. And, of course, the Hornets and the Celtics, the over got steamed in that contest. 208 up to 211. Well, landed 240. Charlotte had no answer for Kyrie Irving in that contest. 34 points for Irving in only 24 minutes of court time. Bad for the books. The books got slapped around on a bunch of games last night. I'm going to run through some. Pitt, they were plus 21.5 at the open. They were plus 18 or so at the close against Notre Dame. They only lost by 17. Bonzie Colson returned, but Notre Dame had neither the motivation nor the depth to go for the kill. Irish were a great bet for the first half. They were a lousy bet for the ball game. Richmond bet up from -3.5 to -6 against UMass. They won by 25. Boston College took the money against bubble-bound Syracuse. BC's a better team right now. They showed it last night. BC wins by 15 after a 3-point line move in their favor. That a bad result for the books. What about Rutgers in the Big Ten tourney? Rutgers plus 2.5 bet up to pick 'em against Minnesota. They won the game by 11. And let's give the Scarlet Knights credit. They played hard all season. They just didn't play well. They're not very good. Minnesota, they had some talent, but they didn't always play hard. Rutgers gets the money. Rutgers gets the win. Rutgers gets the cover. That's a bad result for the books. Of course, the Scarlet Knights and 7 other Big Ten teams in action today in Big Ten Conference Tournament play. All right, there you have it. Time for Big Game Breakdown. Coming up next right here on Sportsbook. Betting Insight today from SBRpicks.com. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the games.